Looking at 20 to 43. Album number 1, 1920 to 1943. And we start off here. Yes. My wedding picture. That's his wedding picture? That was the wedding picture, I think. Uh-huh. And this was just a pose picture of mother. Right. I think it's really pretty. And it's beautiful. and they met in Dubuque? No, East Dubuque. East Dubuque. They both lived in East Dubuque. Dad lived up the first hill, right. Mother lived up the second hill. And so they must have gone to school together and ran together? And no, because they were too much different than age. Oh, they were? Okay. Our mother only went to 1 year of high school. Was Mom older than Dad? No, she was younger. She was younger? Uh-huh. By how many years? Just a year or so, or much different. Something like that. Okay. All right. Pretty close, I think. So that's page 1. Yeah. And then that's little Jeanne. Right. And this is you on Grandma and Grandpa's lap here? Yeah. Yeah, Grandma. Wow. Isn't that something? That's something. That's when Dad was just getting bald. Yeah. He wasn't real bald yet. Okay. That means you took a little one. Yeah. And they put color on your face in this one. Yes, they painted that picture. Wow. Yeah. And who's this here? Is she too? This is my cousin, my friend Grace Sullivan. Okay, and she grew up in the same neighborhood? We didn't really get to know each other till high school, but she gave me this picture of her first communion. Oh, that's so nice. We were good friends through high school. Okay. And then with my little baby brother, right? This was Jim. Look at where I put the ball. Right. Funny. And now this was, he was born, you were how old when Jim was born? I was 8. You were 8. I was born in December of 21, and then Jim was born in April of... So you were really old enough where you could help out, but change diapers. Take care of him. Yeah. Yeah, babysat him always and everything. Huh. So... This is when you were 14 years old. This is when you were 10 years old. Yeah. This was, I think, in junior high. I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, 14 would have been just the end of junior high. Yeah. Yeah. This was probably my junior high graduation picture because I went to 7th, 8th, 9th, you know. Right. And you were probably thinking about driving back then. Did you drive when you were girl was 16? Yeah. I left right. So that probably was on your mind in those days. Oh, absolutely. And that was first communion. And that's... Okay, that's your first communion picture. That's my first communion. That's Aunt Pearl. That's Eunice. And that's Nanny that I called my grandma Nanny, you know, and that was Mother's mother. And this was Daddy's mother. There's my daddy back there. Okay. I think that's Uncle John Farley, and that's Ethel Farley. And the Farley gang. Yeah, all lived in that one house. Uh-huh. And, won't tell who that is. And then down here in the bottom, that's Jim, the baby. Yeah. And who are the other kids? That's Lynn, that's Carol, that's Phyllis, that's Lou, my aunt, mother's sister. That's Elaine. We were the similar ages. Some other sisters were younger. What? Grandma's sisters were younger. Oh, yeah, she was the oldest. Okay. Mother was the oldest, yeah. Okay. And then what's this one over here, this middle one in the front porch? On my front porch. Me with... And that's in Glen Oak? Now that's before we put the... This is on Glen Oak? Glen Oak, yeah. And this is before we had the, it screened all in. And right, and this was Mother Aldrin's stuff. And then there's Dad, Mother, and I. Yeah, 23. When you were 4 years old, sitting on the porch at Glen Oak, right? Exactly. Uh-huh. And there's a nice picture of Dad there. That's just a nice picture of my dad. And this is the Cup Gal. Yeah, I had that cap on there. Some of those pictures that are removed, we'll see later. They're stuff in the book in the room. This is when the gang gathered, you know, all the relatives, and that's Carol and Elaine and Ralph.
Talking about the little kids in the bottom.
And yeah. First Communion, and that's Ralph Rolling and Elaine and Carol.
So this is the little picture on the right, lower right.
Yeah.
And Ralph Rolling's the little boy in the bottom. And you got Elaine. Okay.
And then Elaine and I were the close friends. And Carol lived, was a couple of years older and lived just a block away through the alley, one alley to the other. And then Lynn was the oldest of the Farley girls here.
So these are the Farley girls?
These two.
Okay. Yeah, and Carol was?
Carol was a Roley.
She was a Roley.
Yeah, okay. And Ralph was a Roley. Okay. And this was my great-grandma and Grandma Chapman.
Okay.
That's my great-grandma Mulgrew. And
wow.
My grandma and grandpa Denker.
So this was great-grandma and grandpa Chapman? So this was...
No, this was grandma and grandma Chapman, but that was great-grandma Mulgrew.
Wow, okay.
So that's
my goodness.
That's the older one.
Uh-huh. And then over here?
That was being my baby, too.
In 1931.
Jim.
Well, Jim had some long hair there, didn't he?
Yeah, well, see, like in the fall, 1930, which was 7 months,
in the
I'm sure, yeah. And then he's out there in the spring, crawling around and stuff.
I'll bet you doted over him.
Oh, yes.
Uh-huh.
And these were neighborhood girlfriends. This was my cousin, Elaine.
In the middle.
And then this is Catherine and Virginia and Elaine Kepler and Humpty Girl.
These are all just neighborhood kids.
They were just around the neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
And Jim and I and our baby.
So this is Donald and Jimmy. Who's Donald?
Donald Holcher. He was just our next door neighbor.
Okay.
Yeah. They played together all the time.
All right.
And this again was just the neighborhood kids with my brother.
on the
that
wagon.
Was our dog Speed.
That's Jim and Speed.
Yeah. And
that was on your bike here.
Yeah. Thinking I'm pretty smart on it.
Okay.
And there, I was, pretty young, and I was the bridesmaid, and I was all good. This was my aunt,
Aunt Mabel.
Yeah, Mabel. And so
who was Mabel was whose sister?
Lou, Mabel, they were all the Denford.
And they were all Pearl's sisters.
Okay. Sisters, yeah. And Harold was the only brother. So this is in the Nativity Church. Yeah, okay. Lou and Vern were getting, and Vern was the one that ran the circle bar, and they ran the circle bar.
Okay.
And we had, folks had their 50th wedding anniversary at the circle bar.
Huh.
That was the big bar place in East Dubuque. And then that's Harold, mother's kid brother, mother's younger son. These were the two sisters, and then I was.
You're there the bridesmaid.
Grown up with.
Wow.
See, this was my aunt.
In 1935, so you were 12.
Yeah. So I was pretty young there.
Wow.
So it was pretty neat to be. This was my junior high teachers.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's when I graduated.
Mr. Bergman and Mr.
Ernest.
Ernest.
And
okay. And this is your graduation from the 9th grade?
From the 9th grade.
Wow.
And that was Washington School, and, I would walk to Washington School. It was not very far away. It was on Grandview.
Well, just like me, I used to walk to
Washington School. And that's when a gal was visited next door. My neighbor.
And her name is Deborah Wade.
Yeah, Deborah Bell.
Mm-hmm.
And her brother couldn't talk. He was deaf.
Oh.
And he was real good looking,
Yeah.
So I learned to say sign language to him. And it was kind of fun. She taught me that. And this is just relatives around.
Okay.
My cousin Elaine that I was so close to. And
Elaine was?
Elaine Farley. She was one of the 7 Farley girls.
Okay.
And that's Elaine again, and then her older Eunice, and that's Ralph Rolling, and Carol Rolling Weber.
Okay.
And this is Uncle John and Aunt Ethel. They were the ones who lived next door to Grandma and Grandpa, and then Aunt Pearl and Uncle Lee lived just a block from us.
Okay.
In Dubuque, but they lived in East Dubuque. So we're in Farley's, and then we went up some steps and you got my Grandpa Chapman's, and Uncle Gus was always involved there too.
Neat.
And so that's pretty much.
And then this is on Clear Lake.
That was on Clear Lake, and Clear Lake was near East Dubuque.
Then this is one of the Mississippi River lakes.
It was off the Mississippi. Yeah.
And there you are canoeing with Jim.
Yeah. I need to clean that.
You fishing. All right, so this is
my grandmother and grandpa Chapman.
Okay.
And that's Daddy's parents.
And their daddy.
Two older sisters.
Okay.
That's Pearl Rolling and Ethel Farley.
Okay.
And then that's the winter of 36-7 where it snowed and then it rained and then it turned all to ice. It got real cold.
Oh my goodness.
And this is my next door neighbor and me.
Out there, right?
Right in our backyard of
My goodness.
We're actually ice skating. And that's Jim when he lost his front teeth.
And he's built the snowman there.
And he and his cousin are building, Jack Rowley, are building a snowman.
Yes,
And these are, this is in high school, and that's me in high school. And she became a movie star.
The one in the middle on the bottom there.
Yeah, this one here. Very pretty girl. And she was Jane Keys there, but she named Lynn. I can't remember what her name was on the star. And that's me when I was in Little Miss Hitchhiker. These were all girlfriends.
And this was the play that you were in high school?
Yeah, Miss Hitchhiker. And this was a Yawaka group that was like the YWCA.
Okay.
And this was a home room group.
This was your home room?
Home room.
Okay.
And then
and anybody in that picture that you still know today or correspond with today?
No,
not really. They've all moved on to other things.
I think they're all back in. I have no idea where most of them are.
Sure.
I was just a home room at that time. This is Francis Lake, and of course that's all the relatives, and that's Grandma Chapman and
Yeah.
And this is my cousins here from California.
Next slide there.
Yeah, Marjorie Chapman was there.
Okay.
And that was my Aunt Maud from California.
And Aunt Maud was also Clyde's sister?
Joe Chapman's wife. When they were Joe and Maud Chapman were Marjorie and Morris's children.
Okay.
They were my cousins that, I just see very occasionally.
Oh, okay.
And that's Grandma and Grandpa Chapman.
Demker.
They were in front in Dubuque, in their front yard.
And that's in East Dubuque?
No, this is Dubuque.
Okay.
They moved to Dubuque.
Oh, okay.
And this again is down the Francis Lake with just all the cousins, and that's Jim.
In the middle there, at the bottom.
Yeah. And that's Grandma Chapman.
Yeah.
Daddy and Mom.
Okay. All right, neat.
And then Dad and his sister, Aunt Pearl Rowley, Grandma Chapman, and then that's Joe Chapman, that was from California, and then that's the older one that had the kids. And they're
this is all Precious
a bunch, that's Elaine Farley.
It's been a big family gathering.
Yeah, right. There's just a lot of the family built around, and it's just a bunch of people. But this is Dad, his sister, his mother, his brother, his other sister, Pearl, and Ethel.
Okay.
And then this is Grandma Dempker and Grandma Chapman.
The next page.
Lower
left hand corner.
And Mabel Dempker. And she was Mabel McGreevy, she became.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is Jim and Nancy Farley.
Okay.
And let's see. Oh, these were relatives from I think it was Cedar Rapids that became close.
Philip, Jack, Amanda, Bill, Dad, myself, Jerry, Dick, and Jim.
They were just, cousins that would come and visit sometimes. And this is Jim with Dickie and Jerry, which were cousins, and they were close ones.
Okay.
And this is, again, relatives coming to visit. It wasn't,
Okay.
His Uncle Phil and, I guess,
we're close up to Uncle Phil.
Now this, Elaine and I are in front of in Mason City, where my cousin lived. This cousin would come to visit.
Okay.
And here we're down at the cottage at the lake, at Clear Lake.
Okay.
And here's my cousin and myself and Jim.
Horseback riding.
Horseback.
Was this at Clear Lake too?
Mason City.
Or Mason City?
They're just about 10 miles apart, they're just real close.
Mm-hmm.
Mason City is where they
I saw a lot of pictures of you and horseback riding. Did you do that a lot as a kid?
Not a lot. It was quite a treat.
It was a special thing.
To do that, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is Bobby Spangler. That's Lou.
Dempker. And this was
Lou Burns.
Grandma Pearl, Sister
Lou.
This is their child.
Yeah, exactly.
Bobby Spangler.
Yeah.
And
the Spanglers were the ones that, I don't know what happened.
You haven't kept up with Bobby?
No, I did for a long time. But he had red hair. And, and his dad ran the Circle Bar.
That must have come from Grandma Mulgrew, the red hair.
Yeah, I think probably so.
Okay.
And this is just across the street, Eichmann's house
from your home in Glen Oaks.
390 Glen Oaks. And that Jim was Ozzy.
It was Ozzy.
Ozzy was our little Harry.
Harry.
They call him Boston. No, it wasn't Boston.
Wirehead Terry.
Yeah, Wirehead Terry.
Okay.
And then
I thought this was interesting. I saw this. The Colorado. This was in 1938.
Yeah. See, so I was a junior in high school.
Now, did you ever imagine you would live in Colorado?
I certainly didn't. I have no idea. Here, Jim and I.
Who's with you here? I see that there's you and there's Jim and there's Grandma.
Grandma. And I'm trying to think who those other people are. A picnic dinner, which I can't even.
North Cheyenne Canyon with
Everson. And people I really
don't remember.
They were just people we met or something, And here's Jim and I got permission from folks to take a car up to the top of Pikes Peak because Daddy couldn't.
Oh, okay.
You see. And
so these are just the people
we were with, here all these boys, which was kind of neat, I thought.
You went to the top of Pikes Peak.
So we went to the top of Pikes Peak. And here it's Mom, Jim, and I at Bell's Rock in Red Rock Park.
Well, that was going on. Yes, girl.
And these were
Yes.
You need a Band-Aid? Oh, well, I can get a Band-Aid. I'll get it.
Okay. Now this is someplace else.
This is Balanced Rock in the Garden of the Gods.
Okay.
And that's
Big Johnson Canyon.
Canyon. And these were just.
Then you bought some pictures of the switchback,
Yeah.
like beach and
And
stuff.
their dad's with us, and we're in the snow, and we're actually doing snowballs.
Yeah.
In July.
Isn't that something?
So we thought that.
And this is the summit of Pikes Peak.
That's we took that
When you guys.
car up to the top of Pikes Peak,
Right.
and Jim and I went up
Yeah.
there, and so we had.
Daddy wasn't sure about going up to 14,000 feet.
No, he knew darn well he better not.
Okay.
I don't know what was there, but this was the
Jim's birthday party. This is 1938.
Yeah, and these are all neighbors.
So now there's a lot of Farleys in here. Nancy Farley, Betty Jean Farley.
Nancy and Betty Jean were.
Okay.
Nancy was the youngest of the Farley girls. Betty Jean was one of the brothers.
Now the Farleys got how many?
Had seven.
Seven. And they were all girls?
5 of them were girls.
Mm.
And Elaine was my age, and she was the one, this was the one, she was real pretty. And she was the one I played with a lot. Mm-hmm. And I was just playing tennis.
And wasn't Elaine the one that thought she was feeling some pain in her chest? And that maybe she was developing?
Oh, yeah. She was always feeling it all the time. She never did get much fun. And then our dog, Ozzy, and mommy and dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this was one of my first boyfriends.
Oh, really?
My first boyfriend, Bill.
And Bill Sable?
Sable. He was my first boyfriend, and
how did you know him, from school or?
No, he was a couple of years older, and I just met him, and we dated for a while. Mm-hmm. And this is Bob Call. He worked for. He was a classmate of mine, but he worked for Lee Rowley. And,
okay.
You know, I'd see him at the store all the time whenever I was downtown.
Oh, right.
And Uncle Lee's to meet Mother or whatever we were doing. And then these were
Bob Schroeder.
When I was going with Bill, we dated.
And I see Rosie and Rosemary. Who's Rosemary?
I can't remember.
There's also Mary Coleman.
There are people I haven't kept in touch with.
That's just forever.
Well,
and he
was real good at piano.
And I see under the card table, you had all the feet.
Yeah.
I saw another picture where you took a picture.
Yeah.
That was kind of interesting. We'll stop it.
Oh, the guy was. Just lived a half a block away. She would always, when I started school, she would take me the first day to be sure I got my right.
So this is going hunting with Jim, Ozzy, and Dad. So Grandpa Chapman took Jim hunting.
Oh yeah, they went out. They weren't really hunting, but they'd shoot. And they'd shoot at targets. And
oh, okay.
Like that. So it was mainly shooting at targets.
Okay. And then this is Carol Farley.
Carol, yes, she
was older than Elaine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I think she was another year older.
Okay.
And then this was
a hike in 1939.
Yeah, and this was
Rosemary and Bob, myself and Bob.
And this was the fellow who worked with at Uncle Leo's. And then these were just another couple that I ran around with a little bit. And Bill was the kid I dated. It was one of the first kids I dated.
Right, yeah, that's what we were talking about a little bit ago.
And this was my dog on the back porch.
Okay, and that's in Glen Oak?
In 390 Glen Oak.
You're right, because we were right at that corner.
Yeah, we were right there.
Yeah.
And I had this picture,
Yes,
and this again is my son, and it's Nanny, my grandma, and Grandpa. And then this is my grandma Chapman, Dad. And Vern was the one that was married to Lou, and
the tall one to the right.
He was the guy here that ran Circle Bar, and that's where Mother and Dad had their 50th party. And this is Elaine Farley and Jim, and the neighbor boy, and some of the other kids, And that's Nanny, and that's my two grandmas.
Now going from left to right, we have, looks like Donald.
Donald.
Donald?
Well, what am I? Oh, that's up here.
Okay.
Right down here.
Okay, so
So
that,
this is Aunt Ethel, Grandma Chapman, and Pearl, and Grandma Denver. Those are mother and daddy's house.
okay.
And that's
And graduation.
Graduating
From high
school.
Wow. What an accomplishment.
And this is Carol's wedding to Jim Weber.
Okay.
And this is Phyllis marrying North Sykes. And that's Lynn was in Phyllis's wedding. Here, my cousin lived at the Clear Lake in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Come visit us, and then we'd go. That's her dad park, and then we'd go out to Clear Lake.
And was Park related to Clyde then?
No, his wife was dad's cousin.
Okay.
My dad's cousin.
So she was like a second cousin.
Yeah, she was kind of a second cousin. And
Mother, myself, and Jim.
And we're at
Devil's Lake, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
That must have been a little trip or vacation.
yeah, it was a vacation. So what happened to this?
Okay.
Me playing tennis with Clark.
This is
And that was the first guy I really dated.
That's Bill.
And that's Bill, and then another girl, and his friend.
Bonnie and Bob.
Yeah.
Bob was the other guy that
Yeah, Bob
was quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then these are just three girls.
So you went to Clark, but did you still live on Glen Oak then?
Yeah, and I walked. It was about a mile.
Now this looks like Bill's in front of the house at Glen Oak.
Glen Oak, yeah.
And that's the screened-in porch then.
Yeah. And I was, I dated him for quite a while.
Okay.
And this is Cecile, when I wrote to in France all the time. And then
Cecile.
Cecilia. And,
Okay.
Yeah. And then this was a cousin who just came to visit. And here, she was a gal I graduated from college with.
Very.
And I want to check for $60 for some,
For cake?
some cakes, yeah.
For doing, maybe writing something about cakes? We're looking at some kind of commercial or something like that.
But I had to write something. I can't even remember what it was.
You wrote in. Yeah.
And then Jim and I were at Notre Dame, and we wanted our picture taken there.
Yeah.
And these were just some cabins that we
in Michigan.
Okay. This is
the campus at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
That's you and Jim.
That's,
so this looks like it was all part of a trip to Wisconsin.
Yeah, close.
Mm-hmm.
And here's Niagara Falls. We went there.
Now, is that a box picture, or did Grandpa take that with his camera?
I'm not sure. I don't think it was blocked.
That looks like the American Falls.
Yeah.
So this was taken from Canada.
Yeah, we took it, across the way.
Mm-hmm.
And this was at Lee's mansion. This is the trip we took, and Dad and Jim.
At the information center at what Falls? At the Falls.
Yeah.
Canada, looking at the Falls. Okay, so this is still Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the
entrance to Arlington. Oh, okay.
And I don't know who Harold Ford was.
Harold.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, we were just talking about Arlington.
Mm-hmm.
And how you guys visited there in Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls, it was a wonderful trip in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, and there's Harold Ford. A couple pictures of him, and you weren't sure who that was.
I can't remember who it was.
Okay.
But these
all right. Now this is some of it. And there's you and Bill.
Yeah.
And this is when you were...
I dated about 3 years with him.
And even when you were at Clark, huh?
Oh, that's when I did it, yeah.
Okay.
Because then later on at Clark, I met your dad.
Okay. And Bill, was he at Laura?
No, he wasn't in school. He was working.
Okay.
Yeah, he just, I think I never made it.
And this is you and Jeanette and Marion. And then there's Bob, your friend Bob.
Marion was a good friend always, and I still write to her.
And Bob is no longer, he's no longer dating Rosemary, now he's married and dating Jeanette. I don't know who that was.
I don't know. I can't remember who he finally married even.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Bob Trader.
Trader. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And
So,
this was all college friends.
this is at Clark.
This is Marion, but I still.
In the big picture in the middle is Marion.
Mary Splinter, and she's in Chicago, and she's married,
Okay.
and I still keep in touch with her.
This is the one on the right, at the lower step to the right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And
you got a picture of Yvonne here. She was at Clark as well.
Yeah. And that way we got from one building to the other.
Is that little bridge?
Without outside.
Okay.
That was over to the science building.
And this is the Porter, and then
Marion Herbst and
Janet,
and
Marion Hawk.
Yeah, I don't remember hardly any.
Okay.
That's Janet Hogan.
Mm-hmm. Janet Hogan, yeah. Okay.
So.
Okay.
And incidentally.
And there's you holding Rusty, is that it?
Yeah.
And when did you get Rusty? Was that after the wire-haired terrier died?
Yeah, I think Rusty was the last one I ever had.
Okay.
Janet Hogan was going with, that's how she introduced me to her.
Oh, really?
She was going with the guy from Bellevue.
Okay.
And he was supposed to be bringing up the date for a dance when he came up from Bellevue for me. And then that didn't work out, so he was going to dance with Janet, and I didn't have a date. Janet called Jeanne and said,
Oh, and that's not.
Was after.
That they call her. Okay. Well, that's so Janet played a key role there.
Oh,
but Janet wasn't as close to you as Lil or
we weren't really.
Or
Eileen. Lil and Eileen were the closest.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
That wasn't Eileen Farley. That was Eileen.
Oh, that was Eileen Farley. No, it was Eileen Lane.
No kidding, no.
Well, no, McQuillan.
McQuillan, okay.
You're right, Charlie.
Okay.
No.
No, that's right.
And Lillian was McDonald. Yeah.
So then this picture, the one big picture in the middle, has you and Bill.
And this is Bob Call, who worked for Uncle Lee, and another friend, my colleague.
In your college. Okay.
And this is I said Mary Splinter from Chicago again, and I still keep some of what in touch with her.
Okay.
And this was Porter Gilliam, she had a southern.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
And we have Bill Fletch, or Roach. Bill Roach. Marion. Dave. Oh, yeah, there's a Thelma.
Yeah.
That you knew in school.
Yeah, Thelma Brunken.
Uh-huh. And Porter.
Yeah.
Bob.
Bob, the one that worked for Uncle.
Yeah. And there's you.
And
Madge. Is it Mitch? And Kellen.
Yeah, I remember.
All people from school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not people I knew well.
But this is really probably your first 2 years of school, huh? Which is
no, further on probably.
Okay.
Because she and we all were all in home ec together.
All the girls on the bottom row there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're home ec.
This is your home economics class.
Yeah. We were all in home ec.
Different shots of everyone that was in class together.
Home ec class.
Okay. More of them.
More of them. Yeah.
Okay.
We were at Eagle Point Park.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah.
So,
and that's Elaine
Farley.
Yeah.
Elaine Farley. And there's
my closest pet. She and Carol were the ones I tell people. Carol was a little older. She and I were pretty close. And that's just early dating with your dad.
Now how does this happen? When did you stop? When did
this picture?
Right.
And I wasn't going to show it to him because
it shows so much clearer.
I was there.
You're all there. Now, how did it work? When did you stop dating Bill and start? I mean, how did the relationship with Bill end?
Was I still going with Bill when I went with you? I can't remember. I don't think so.
So Bill maybe moved on, or
he wasn't going to college or anything.
I knew about Bill, but I've never met him.
Yeah, I think about my sophomore year was the last I
did much with him
Yeah,
anymore.
he was the only one I knew to ask the question.
Okay. And that's you, Bill, there. Okay. And that's, now you're here in front of a, is that a telephone or a radio?
That was a gift for graduation, and we could make records on it.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
And it ran the...
It ran the record.
Uh-huh.
It had to take the records out like bulls on it. Yeah.
Okay.
And, I had great fun.
Oh, Mom, they've gotten a lot smaller. Or it's way to record.
It's a big thing,
Yeah.
And so that was kind of fun. But he and I, dated quite a little bit for about 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And this call guy again was Mary Herbst, who eventually married somebody else,
Okay.
And that's Ralph Rolling.
And then where's he there?
He was,
Mexico here.
Yeah.
Wonder if he went to Mexico.
I think it was some kind of a trip they were on.
Uh-huh.
And this was my dad's brother who lived in California and his wife. And
Uncle Joe and Aunt Maud.
But, we don't see that once in a great while. And this was going through a tree.
It looks like Ralph Rolling maybe went to see Aunt Maud and Uncle Joe. And also went down and spent in Mexico.
Very likely.
That picture right there was from her Aunt Maud.
Oh, okay.
The wedding picture.
The one in the living room.
Oh,
Okay.
I knew about that.
Oh, great.
And that's my mom and Joe.
California redwood. So you guys did a good
We went
California.
through the trees.
Yeah, you could drive through.
Yeah. So, it took, real nice.
It was a nice vacation, sure.
And that's staying at a motel. This is the Salt Lake where
you could float. Yeah, on your way out.
Yeah. And this was
All your mail, yeah.
that was an Aunt Katie Chapman. I can't even remember her, but that was on San Francisco dock. So that's me swimming in San Francisco Bay, and the hotel we
Stayed in.
and you're not supposed to see it there.
There you are.
I'm Jeanne, my girl. So I said I was bad. You making all that noise?
Beach haircut.
You making all that noise? When they say you're not
you work
You wanted to see that stuff.
Well,
bad.
And then you did some horseback riding here too.
Yeah, I'd be on vacation.
Yeah, sure.
That's always fun. I think that's Dad and Jim.
Yeah, it is Jack and Jim.
Yeah.
It lives at the rut on the desert in Nevada desert. Okay. And then
our trip to.
oh, it's cabin in Estes Park.
Yeah.
So you guys often would stay then in Colorado if you went for fun.
Very frequently.
Colorado was sort of a favorite vacation.
Dad just couldn't, go up high. But he loved to look at it.
Sure.
And this was an oleander tree in bloom.
Uh-huh.
And these were just, we met Rose Chapman coming in from Honolulu. That was a cousin of mine that we met her liner when she was coming from California. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, neat.
And that was kind of fun.
Near the cliff house.
This was
San Francisco.
here in Yosemite.
Yeah, you had a picture of a bear.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. And that's you and Mom. Fly out to falls in Yosemite. Okay. Wow, that's great. That sounds like it was a fun trip, huh?
It was great. And we
The
got
dog.
the dance store, and then we had a Chapman someplace. A town.
Yeah, there is later on. There's a picture that shows that. This was the dance store somewhere,
It
huh?
was the dance store. We got
In Yosemite.
We got to feed a little.
Chipmunk.
And here we're feeding a little deer.
Uh-huh.
And this was May crowning. When you crown.
May crowning.
At
Okay.
college, yeah, at college.
And there's Gertrude Kirby, Eileen McQuillan, which is your friend.
Yeah, real close.
No, so Gertrude is here and standing in the
Yeah.
front, and then Eileen is
Eileen is.
oh, back there, that's just her face.
Yeah,
And there's you.
yeah.
Kay Gleason and
There's
Pat.
this other,
Right.
other kids.
This was May crowning, so
Yeah.
you're crowning the Madonna there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Well, wow, I didn't realize it was such a quite a ceremony.
Oh, yeah, we had a very racial crowd.
Do they still do that? You think they clear?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Those were dresses that I washed before. This is the winter one, and this is the spring one.
Mm-hmm.
There's mommy dressed up, and there's my favorite outfit.
He's all, yeah, yeah. This is Mrs. Phil, Jackie Rowland, Charles Phil, and Jim and Rusty.
They were all out hiking.
Yeah, the Phils were
They were our next door neighbors.
next door neighbors, okay.
And neighbors with the rolling. Well, Phil's were right behind us. And I used to play right down there at that hill.
Oh, really?
To my yard.
Okay.
Our yard.
And this is the home on Glen Oak.
Yeah.
Wow, that changed. They cut down all these trees on the side.
Yeah. 1941.
1941, that is.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a formal. You must be 41.
You have pictures of the home.
Yeah, and this is Eileen in her house. And this is theater, the guy she had been.
Now, were you a friend with Eileen's first before Lil came along? It seems like it with this picture.
Pretty close to the same, because neither of them went to high school with me. They went to the Catholic Academy, and it was in college that I met Eileen, and these other.
And there's Helen Gold.
Graf, and she was another one that I was friendly with.
And your family at home in Glen Oak.
Yeah, that was under the, under the
Yeah, Eileen McCullough and Bob Lehman. So that's before they were married.
Exactly.
And it looks like he's got a Catholic gown on.
Yeah, well, no, he was in the Navy.
Oh, okay.
That's a Navy collar.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you're right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
This was
Junior prom.
42.
February 1942.
And that's all of us.
All dressed up. Wow.
And then here we're down at, this is my uncle J.B., who had the cottage down at the lake.
Yeah.
And that's my cousin J.B.
And this is at Clear Lake.
At Clear Lake, yeah. And then this is family gathered down there. And there's with Rusty.
There's a picture with Rusty, yeah.
That's Jim with his class, his friendly friend, neighbor's friend. This was a girlfriend, and her lived there. That lived just up the street from me with her boyfriend.
Ellen Richard. Okay, and Johnny Sweet.
Yeah, record collection.
Record, okay.
Yeah. And this is Eileen's husband, Bob.
Okay.
From the service, and they weren't married.
And there's you and Will.
Exactly. Same.
And where was this at? This was a trip to Chicago.
Yeah.
So you guys went and did a trip.
Yeah, I think we went there, and he was stationed there or something.
Do you remember at a ball of Clark College how you and Eileen and Lil became such good friends? Were you all in the same grade?
Well, yeah, same grade. And Eileen and I were in the home economics. Lil wasn't. But they had always been good friends.
Oh. And they were good friends when they were in the Catholic school and high school. Okay.
They were in the academy, like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like it. A lot of pictures of the three.
Absolutely.
You were like the 3 months years.
Absolutely. We were very close. We had a wonderful time together. And that was just a little family picture with the dog. And
Mary, Hector, and I.
Helen,
okay.
Helen and I. That was Mary Bass and Helen Graff and I. So we're just college friends.
Okay.
And
this is Diamond? Diamond Girl. Diamond Grill.
We're at the Diamond Grill.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
a
big place to meet and have a Coke and
that kind of thing.
we had lots of money.
Yeah, at the Diamond Grill, I guess.
Yeah, now this is Mary and her.
You know, stop in there and get a Coke and sit and visit because.
Yeah, you know.
Sure.
And this was my cousin Joe Cass. That was where we're at from Wausau, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And this was just a friend of his.
And Loretta is Pearl's sister, right?
Pearl's sister, yeah, her sister. And this was a friend he brought along, and I dated him for
a little bit, huh?
Yeah, just, when he'd come. And, when they found this reserve. Here I am with Rocky again, and there's my cousin. We took a picture and all that stuff, and that's mother's sister and her husband and 2 kids. And this was my redheaded cousin that was Bob Spangler.
And Bob Spangler's wife again was?
This is Lou.
Lou,
Vern, Bob, and Dick. That was their kids.
Okay. And do you keep track of Bob and Dick anymore?
Not much.
No. Okay.
And she, I have kept in touch with. Just was there.
Okay.
Touch.
All right.
And then this was, Joe went with my girlfriend Marion from home.
Uh-huh.
And then this was, here's Nanny, my grandma, mother's mother.
It sounds like a lot of dating back then was just to have someone to go out with.
Oh yeah.
Not like it was real romantic or anything like that.
Not necessarily.
You just have someone to go to places with and be a couple.
It wasn't real. When we liked to dance, and there were ballrooms, where you'd go and dance, and that was all the fun. And this is over at Farley's, where that's Lynn and Elaine.
Going from right to left. Lynn,
Pearl, Elaine, and me. And then that's Uncle and Uncle John. And this is Jim and Nancy, the younger. Nancy is the younger Farley.
Okay. And there's Rusty and Jim and Nancy.
Right.
Nancy Farley.
She was Jim's age.
So you took the dog along when you went to Farley?
Yeah.
Apparently that time you did.
And this was,
your home economics class. Sounds like you had a lot of friendships from moments.
Oh yeah, we were very close together. There's Grandma there when I was in college, many years ago.
Yeah. And this was May crowning in 1993.
Everybody dressed in the long dresses, and it was very.
So May crowning was a big deal.
Oh yeah.
Was that like the big event of the year?
Oh no, it was important, very important. And this is Eileen and Yvonne, and I don't know.
Well, I think there's a picture of you in here, and it's moved someplace else. But yeah, there's Eileen, and then there would be you, and then there's.
And this is Will, and see Eileen and Liz.
This picture of Will really reminds me of how she looks still today.
Yeah.
Just kind of that.
Yeah, it does. I think you can see it.
Yeah.
You just lived a block from me, I know. I just had to go up the corner and meet her and go to school together, And she was my godchild when she became Catholic. I was her godmother.
Julia Jeanne Wallace.
Jeanne Wallace, and she became a Catholic in college. And we were just all.
How did you know Marion Herbst again?
Well, college.
Okay,
college. And then these other ones were in my home ec class.
Yeah, we saw a lady from Clark when we were there that stayed at the same hotel, the Heartland Hotel.
I remember that one.
And she was there for the reunion with her husband.
Trying to think who it was. I remember that, but I'm trying to.
Well, okay.
Yeah. Maybe first, maybe.
I remember. This was graduation from Clark.
But what my graduation.
Pictures,
The normal one, the glamorous one, and ones I sent for jobs.
Okay. Okay.
And this is just with Eileen.
And you all graduated together. Must have been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now, Nancy must have been one of your teachers.
No, Nanny, that's my grandma.
Oh, Nanny. Okay,
That's
sorry.
That's mother's mother.
Okay, this is Grandma Mulgrew. Grandma Mulgrew.
Demker.
Demker. Okay, Demker. Sorry. Okay, I got it straight. Okay. Rose.
But her mother was a Mulgrew.
That's right.
And these were just, close classmates. Eileen and Lil and Rose was another one we were real close with.
Rose Underwood.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so, the 4 of us were pretty close.
Uh-huh.
And don't stay in touch, but I'm close with Eileen and Lil. And
this is buffet supper for graduation.
yeah.
So you guys all went.
Jim Weber, Carol.
Yeah.
He was a real good looking guy. And this is Uncle Leo. And that's Vern Spangler, Lou's husband. And
Okay.
there's Harold Dimker. There's Grandma Dimker. And there's that Pearl Rolling. And
They're going from middle to the outside.
Lynn Farley and Elaine, Mother Mabel, Dimker. That was Mother's younger sister. And that's Harold Dimker's wife, Dorothy. And Lou Spangler, Mother's other sister, and Jim Weber, who was very good looking. That was Harold's husband.
I think. And that's you and Rusty and Dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this was just another gal I was with the graduation.
Helen Graff.
These were all.
This is Helen Graff.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And we, this is Rose Underwood, Mary Herbst, and
Yeah.
and so forth. And this again is just a bunch of us, Jeanne Wallace and Mary.
So you really became close to girls you graduated.
We were, it was a small class.
Yeah.
Well, that's it,
That's the whole class right there.
And that's my grandma Dimker. Okay, so.
This was for graduation probably too, huh?
Yeah. And
Helen.
yeah,
And then this is
this is Jim and one of the neighbors.
out there with their guys.
Yeah, they went, Dad and that's Rusty, and they were out
Target practicing probably.
to take them out.
And then this is your whole class.
This is the whole class.
I noticed some of them have check marks on them. Put little check marks underneath them.
Yeah, I did. And they were just the ones I knew real well. Yeah,
Sure.
they are. They're just the ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I.
Well, that's it for book number 1.
Amen.